Hello everybody and welcome back to Middle-earth. This is Count MRVHS with, I believe, episode 15 of our 4th Age Dwarves campaign, and we are being attacked by Dunland in Dunland. I have progressed a couple of turns since the previous episode, and I did manage to get this relief army from around Moria. We moved them through Austin Eville, picked up some mercenaries along the way. We've got a couple of units of long axes, a couple axe throwers, a unit of dwarven axes, and we are led by a recently come-of-age family member, Floey of Nareg Zigil, and we were heading down to relieve Dol Baran, which is yet again under siege. And the Dunlendings attacked us, so this will be our first battle against them in the field, and they've got some interesting units this time around. So this is the main army that's attacking us. They've got 4 axes of the wolf, and so this is a two-handed axe unit, which is effective against armor. That could be dangerous for us. You can see that they have improved armor in addition to improved weapons and, 6 experience. They have a war cry ability, but like with a lot of Dunland's units, their Achilles heel is their relatively low armor and defense. So our arrows should be pretty effective against them, although we don't have as many as I would like. They also have some tribal pikes, which shouldn't be much of a problem. I'll just need to keep my 1 unit of horse mercenaries away from those. And they've got some units with some javelins. Pretty much every other unit here has javelins. So that's the main army. Right behind me is this other stack led by Lieutenant Lawa, which is doesn't have any of the higher tier units, such as the pikes or the axes of the wolf, but it does have javelins. And it also has these Dunlendish horsemen, which I found surprisingly effective against my own dwarven units when I've been fighting these battles in Dol Baran. So, all of these guys have javelins. They also have a very small stack of just a single unit of horsemen. So, I've been trying to get my reinforcing army from the Blue Mountains down here, but we haven't been able to pass over Tharbad. I've been working on military access from them. I did give them military access as sort of a first step on that road. We'll see if we're able to make that happen a bit later. So it looks like they're attacking us in the rain, so we don't get to decide that. I can't remember now if they have many archers. Mostly they have short-ranged units, but I will need to keep in mind that I'm basically getting sandwiched here. There's an army that's going to come from directly behind me. So one thing I might do is pull up here to sort of face them both. It's not the best ground necessarily, is my only hesitation. But the alternative is fighting back-to-back. I don't think I can rush this army and get up onto the hill before the other army comes up. So I think it's probably best to set up like around here. Now this may not be my exact configuration. I think I'm going to want my bowmen out front. Let's see if I can get a bit more out into the woods here. Let's get these guys out of the group. So I like the group function mostly when I'm setting up or moving my units around. So the axe throwers I also want out front, I think, relatively, where they can throw their axes and do some damage. Dunlending mercenaries have shields. They can skirmish, as you can tell. And they have javelins and they have axes, so they're going to be fairly effective against the units that we're going to be seeing. I'll hide some of my riders right over here. And yeah, I am going to want my archers out front, so maybe the mercenaries can be just to either side of them. And that one can hide as well. Alright, otherwise, I think this is what I want to sort of be in a group. These other guys can be ungrouped because they're going to be moving all over the place anyway.
The enemy are scared. They have brought even more men.
Alright, so they're going to be coming from right down here, those reinforcements. Right there they are. And again, this was the less intimidating stack in terms of the unit tiers. They've only got these skirmishers. These are tier 1 spears, tier 2 cav. So don't get me wrong, they will do damage with their javelins. And this is the attacking army. There's those axes of the wolf. Pikes. And their general is also an Axes of the Wolf unit, so that's good. They'll be relatively easy to take out, I think. Again, very low armor. And these guys don't benefit from a shield either when it comes to protecting against missile fire. Not that I have that much missile fire to throw around. Way over in the distance there, right at the top of this battle map, is the cavalry unit, the single unit of cav that's coming. So I hope that they come straight up through here and don't try to flank me around to this side. If they do, I'll have to turn while I'm also keeping an eye on the reinforcements coming from up to my left. But it looks like they're heading straight on. Let's rush the archers forward. They don't have any cav in this army. This one does, so that'll actually be pretty dangerous. I don't want to waste arrows on the javelin skirmisher units. I'd like to target their general if I could. I'm gonna have to get a lot closer for that, though. Can just see them through the trees, that reinforcing army. Alright, and so the AI likes to run its units around. Here they are war crying, maybe indicating a charge. But they like to run around before the battle, which is, you know, good for the player because they tend to use up their stamina. Right, we haven't even... Okay, we just started to get a volley or two, but see how quickly those guys went down? This is a rain. I'm assuming the rain interferes with that archer fire. But we've already cut down about 15. Or, well, 10. Now we're going for 20. Alright, if we can... another volley or two, but we can't. They're pushing us back. Okay. May as well just run up towards the top of the hill. And fortunately, it looks like it'll be a while before they can get to us. The reinforcements. So I may want to run my dwarves downhill. Right, my mercenaries have emerged from hiding to start throwing stuff at them. My cavalry is still hidden. Let's send in my pikes against their pikes. These are the dwarven long axes. And axes of the wolf. That's the general unit. That's wonderful. Alright, my cavalry is now visible. My axe throwers are going after their general. Let's actually halt that, and we will throw another volley of axes. I want to get my cavalry out of there because I'm going to need them. Alright, that general is running away. In fact, my cav would be better used against him. Yeah, 36, and these guys are losing heavily. So look at how much damage they're doing. This is awful. Let's see. Long axes. Oh, man. Yeah, Dunlend. Who knew, right? Okay, here come the reinforcements. And this is just going to be ugly. There's nothing I can do about those horse skirmishers other than what I'm doing right now, which is targeting them with my missile fire. And kind of hoping for the best. So my Dunlending mercenaries have used all of their spears, throwing spears. So I can now use them to flank. Alright, okay, I'm noticing that the reinforcing army's general is also a cav unit, so I'm going to target him if I'm not already. These mercs down around the flank. I've still got my general, a family member here. And so far my dwarves are mostly being used as a pincushion right now. The javelins are doing a little bit of damage on them, but not as bad as I would have thought. It's really these long spears. I've lost a unit of long spears. That's crazy. Alright, time to bring in the general, I think. Jeez, I may lose this. Alright, the Dwarven axes. Okay, good. There goes their general. If we can cause a quick rout here. These axes of the wolf are just terrible. That's what is really fun about playing Dunlend, though. You've got these units that are super cheap. Like, check the upkeep on these guys, 160 per turn. But they've got Warcry and they're effective against armor, so that combination is really deadly to a faction like the Dwarves, who basically can't return fire effectively unless we're using mercenary types. So I'd love to kill this general. Dunlendish horsemen. Let's kill these axes of the wolf if we can. Look how bad even my Dwarven axe throws. I've only got 10 of these long axes left. I really thought these guys would have stood up better. Wow. It's funny what factions are dangerous depending on what faction you're playing. Like, if you've played the Reunited Kingdom, let's say, or Rohan, then you're just not worried about Dunlend, right? You don't give them much of a thought at all because your units are tougher. But more importantly, you have a lot of access to archery, especially if you're playing the Reunited Kingdom. Your archers will just wipe the floor with these guys, assuming you bring enough of them, and you can get archers relatively easily. And if you're playing as Rohan, you just charge, and their infantry will basically melt before your cavalry. But if you're playing a faction like the Dwarves, all of a sudden, a faction like Dunlend is like the perfect counter to what you've got to deal with. So I think we are going to win this fight. We've basically just got one unit of axes of the wolf remaining. Or actually two. I mean, by this fight, I mean that fight right there. But I don't think we're going to win this. This battle. In fact, I'm contemplating retreating. Contemplating. Well, we'll see. I may just lose this family member. I should have contemplated that a little sooner, probably. These tribal spearmen are going to wipe me out, you watch. Actually, they may have already used all of their throwing spears. And if that's the case, I may be in a pretty good position against these guys. Problem is, the Dunlendish huntsmen are still around, and their cavalry are still around, at least in some form. Okay. Jeez. 12 men left, and they're losing heavily. Durin's Guard losing heavily against the Dunlending unit. Okay, so here comes a charge, and my cav, which I was not paying attention to. Oh no, that's not my cav, that's my Dunlending mercenaries. Alright, let's get my cav up here. But I'm not feeling good about this. Alright, let's get my cav down here. We gotta hit these guys and rout them. Axes of the Wolf. Okay, Axes of the Wolf are routing good. This is not a good charge, though. I can tell against the... Oh, okay, it is. Lances are leveled. Wavering. Broken. Fantastic. Alright, now get those guys. We gotta get up to higher ground. And then just hold. And my dwarves over here are winning. These guys got nothing left to throw.
The enemy flee from the field like frightened goats.
Oh my gosh.
And slay them all.
Alright, we're going to ignore that general. We just need to get to higher ground and avoid thrown weapons. We need to get stuck into melee somewhere. Alright, get those tribal spearmen so that they well and truly rout, and then I gotta get my general over to assist my dwarven axes, but you see they're under fire. Oh gosh, they did have more left. Alright, so what just got hit? Okay, those archers are chasing their cav. Bring these archers down. Yeah, I mean, I think this guy's maybe gonna die. Oof. Utterly tired. They're just very tired. So they may have better stamina, too.
The warlord of the enemy army is running like a startled goat.
Very tired. Okay. Alright, I don't... Where'd that happen? Good. Alright, my dwarven axemen are still standing. Here come the Dunlending huntsmen. Let's get them. We should be able to take care of these guys. My cav comes in, flanked, rout them, and they go! Oh, okay. I think we can make it. Oh my gosh. I am not going to underestimate these guys. Hit the huntsman. Losing slightly. Alright, they came back. What is that? Tribal spearmen? No problem. We'll rout him again. Some of these guys may come back, but I'm going to keep my bowmen on them to try to prevent that from happening. And let's set up my bowmen here to charge them. We're just going to keep following these guys. I've got cav, my axes, and my general all close. And then this unit of bowmen to assist with that. And we're going to... Actually, I think they'll be fine. Let's bring the axes back. Dwarven axes are the unexpected heroes in this. I really would have thought that these guys would have melted. But they avoided getting caught in melee. And I don't think they were targeted very much by the cavalry skirmishers, for whatever reason. Alright, they're very tired. My guys are utterly tired. They must have better stamina, because I think these guys marched all the way from the bottom of that hill. Yeah, continue battle. We're running down these idiots. Each and every one of them that we can catch. So now I just have to hope that we can hold out until we can get to the fort, which is at least a couple marches away. We might not be able to. Oh yeah, we got a lot of country to go through, so this was a rough one. Absolutely brutal. So I'll be very curious to see how many we get back. So a lot of them were probably lost to missile fire. We got 227 survivors. That's not a lot. Oh my gosh, yeah, we lost the axe throwers. We lost the Dunlending mercenaries. We lost both of our axe throwers. They just went away. They just completely got eliminated. So we are going to get our long axes back to some extent. 33 in one unit and 18 in another, something along those lines. That's just an absolutely brutal attack. I've got to say, though, I'm pretty pleased with that. Just the way it played out. It's, just to show you that you can be surprised still, you know? Okay, so there was another big Dunlending, relatively large. I would not be able to hold out against this, no matter what it is. There's just no way. So I have to now seriously start thinking about whether I head north and wait for the reinforcements to march all the way around, or what. That did buy me a little bit of time, though, in that these guys moved away from the siege. So maybe what I should do is move them back here. I've got so much money. I think, though, it's an emergency situation. I'm going to ask for military access and give them an insane amount of money. 50,000. And they accept. So now I can actually move down here. That seems stupid, doesn't it? But the way that this works is that Tharbad is a bridge. It's not just a settlement here. So I couldn't, without military access, move this guy past this choke point. I could not, literally could not move him down here. I was going to have to march him all the way up to Last Bridge, all the way over to Rivendell, down through Holland, and here. So now, as long as this military access remains, I can bring troops from Hollowbold down to Tharbad. I can bring troops from Dwarodelf more into this area as well. So that's worth it. That may have just saved me from complete destruction. What do I want to do in terms of position? This is a pretty good place to defend, I guess. So you don't really want to fight in the woods. I know it looks like I just moved into the woods. Hopefully I didn't. I was trying to be on the road there. But you don't want to fight Dunlending in the woods because they get combat bonuses there, I believe. Yep. At least some of their units do. Man. So now I'm hoping that they don't have a bunch more surprises in here. We lost a ton of money on that. But again, I think that was 100% necessary. Okay, up here we are moving mercenaries. We already have mercenaries here, so I guess I don't need the hirelings, but you know what, let's put them in anyway. And what I wanted to do in this area is probably move towards Angmar and actually take that out, because then that will allow me to take these two forts without worrying about a Dunabar swooping down into either direction. So we're going to keep moving northwest towards Carndum, which I'm pretty sure we can take with that force. We're going to keep this guy right here, our king. And elsewhere, I don't think there's any other emergencies. But that military access just made my life so much easier. Now, I could have gone probably for a lot less, but Tharbad had been rebuffing me with offers of like 9,000, so I thought, let's not mess around. In other news, I have assembled a fairly large army here, and we are just about ready to move on these on this large army. So that is probably something we're going to do next turn. Rune still hasn't come around that pass yet. And Nerig Zagil is still waiting for population so I can train just another unit or two, then get our Wayne bows, and then take the fight to Rune. Alright, let's save that game. And then I want to see what the next turn is going to bring. If it's going to be a big, horrible attack again, or what. Yes, it is. But this looks like a little more manageable host of Dunlendings. Now, I'm not under any illusions that this is the only one we'll have to fight. But if we can win this battle, if they don't attack us, we can start to move down. Now, they've got one unit of Axes of the Wolf. That's good. We can focus fire on them. We've got 4 units of archers here now. Well, plus 5 with a dwarven unit of archers. That's very good stuff. And we can focus also on these cav. So hopefully it won't be too bad. But I think we're going to call it an episode there. So thank you very much for watching. And we'll see how this next battle turns out. Take care, everybody.